mixed in. Okay, and so you have and the angels coming down from heaven and the fallen angels and taking women as they choose, which means they're abducting and raping women left and right and impregnating them. And these women were giving birth to giants, and they were starting all these races. And so it was much, much different when you just sit back and meditate on what was life really like back then. It will blow your mind. It will blow your mind. This movie that came out this summer, 300, I loved it. I mean, it wasn't anything personally great about this movie. It was just the fact that it depicted a god king. And so I found it fascinating, because this is how it was back then, folks. They had these god kings. And, of course, this being, this hybrid, was about 7 or 8 foot tall. And he was going to war against all these other little human races around and stuff. And that's what they did. And that's how it was ran back then. The king of Ogden was like 9.5 foot tall, size of Goliath. And there were giants in those days, and these god kings demanding to be worshipped. It's not always Satan alone that is demanding to be worshipped, folks, because his fallen angels, these god kings, demanded the same thing. They demanded that you worship them. And in Matthew 24, it states how in the last days, many will come proclaiming, I am God. And that I am is always capitalized. And it's that I am that the New Agers are all into. And Masonry's into I am. I can become God. That's the whole Masonry religion. And in the last days, this Mason religion is going to become a worldwide religion. And you see their symbols popping up everywhere in buildings in every city. You can't see a corporate logo without something occultic or Masonic on it. It's just going to become a worldwide religion, this I am, because they teach that you can become a god. And that's how Satan's other fallen angels were too. And so, yes, he is going to come claiming to be God, but he also gives his own generals the leeway to receive worship from mankind that they're gods too, to get worship. So it isn't just Satan in the background saying, I'm the only God, but he will come claiming he's the only God, join his kingdom, get his mark, tattoo, stamp, whatever it is that they're going to demand on the people. One of the things that I've been noticing, and I just can't help but feel how evil and wicked they are, is these widescreen TVs popping up everywhere. You've heard me talk about it before. And they're popping up everywhere. And now, Illuminati-owned restaurants, Taco Bell, McDonald's, all these Illuminati-owned chains, starting to put these TVs in their restaurants. And so, you know what? It's bad enough you're in fast food. Most of us live in a fast food nation, eat fast food at least once or twice a week, blah, blah, blah. Now you get their big screen TVs in there. And I'm not harping against the evils of television, because you've already heard that, done that, been there. But what I am concerned about, and what I keep feeling, is that these TVs are going to be used. There's an express purpose for having them popping up everywhere, is that they're going to be used in this enforcement of the worship of the beast. They're going to be used. And I already, I've stated I wouldn't have a plasma TV in my house. It's just too, this plasma is a material. I'm not going to get into science, because Lord knows I couldn't do that. Plasma's found in outer space. It's one of these things out in outer space. And so they use it in outer space. Why would you want it in your home? It has a stark demonic connection with it. I have a feeling they're going to be using these TVs to walk right into your homes. It's just like an open door entrance right into anywhere that these TVs are. It's like going to be an open door for demonic entrance, immediate entrance into wherever these TVs are. Because I've already told you, they travel by electronic and appliance lines and things like that. That's why most people at night, it's not just appliances settling at night. You'll hear croaks and greens and things like that during the night from the house. But kitchens tend to be the most visited places by demonic beings, alien beings, because they come through these lines. And there's all kinds of appliances and outlets in kitchens, more so than any other room in the house, other than the TV and cable boxes and things like that. And it's the kitchen itself. I always have at least 2 or 3 pieces of wire going in my kitchen, on my fridge, on my microwave, wherever, because they use these lines to come in on. And so these TVs have something to do with this coming enforcement worship of the beast. just imagine that if you're standing in line at Taco Bell or McDonald's or Burger King, and you hear a bell, a sound, a ring, whatever it is, and all of a sudden it's time to worship the beast, folks. And at this, when everybody hears this noise, they're supposed to bow and do 3 hail, worship the beast, whatever. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do. But just imagine if all of a sudden you see the face of a demon in these TVs, and anyone in that establishment that isn't doing this bowing thing to the beast, they can kill. And they will kill automatically. If you're not bowing to the beast on cue, then you will be killed. Because if you look in Revelation chapter 13, I believe it's verse 18, it's 18 to 23, somewhere right in there, talks about the worship of the beast. And it's the worship of the beast, if you fail to worship the beast, that will get you killed. Now, if you refuse to get his mark, stamp, or tattoo, or most likely chip implant, you just can't buy or sell in society. You're basically cut off. You can't cash your check. You can't buy gas. You can't buy food. But they don't kill you for that. What they kill you for is if you refuse to worship the beast. And so how are they going to enforce this worshiping the beast thing? And so now all of a sudden you see all these TVs popping everywhere, and you just feel some kind of wicked connection with the whole thing. That they're going to use these TVs as a way of enforcing the worship of the beast. Even computer monitors. Boy, when I wrote that book, Aliens on the Internet, several years ago, even back then I was just getting an understanding of how the aliens controlled computers and things they could do on the backdoor access type thing. But now I'll tell you why, you keep experiencing it more and more and more, and it's like, boy, I could come out with a part 2. Definitely controlling most of technology that we have today. And it's from the aliens. It's from the aliens. Satan has a very technological kingdom. It's how he keeps it together. He's not omniscient. He's not omnipresent. He can't just think of being somewhere and be there like the Lord can, like his angels can. They have to travel, and they travel by UFOs. He has levels and ranks and categories of people everywhere that fill their databases up with information so that he can have access to how all of these countries are working, legislation in every country. They type it into their computers. They have to keep up on mankind. A lot of UFOs that we see hovering, just basically hovering in the skies, are on reconnaissance missions. You'll see them over military bases. You'll see them over cities. Usually the most seen over military bases. And that's because they are doing reconnaissance, gathering their own intelligence so they can keep their own information systems updated so that they know what we're doing on Earth. They know the weapons we're building. They know what we have. They know what each nation is doing. I don't know how else to explain it. It's very technological. And so it was just another step to get America in line as Satan's kingdom on Earth, to give them part of this technology so that when he comes to Earth, he's not clueless as to what's going on. He has access to everything that's going on, everything that happens. These fallen beings, they have photographic memories, and so they can just look at things and have them memorized in seconds, milliseconds. You know how photographic memories work, where they can just flip through a book and then all of a sudden they have the entire book memorized. And that's basically how these fallen beings are. And they have a lot of supernatural powers, a lot of supernatural gifts. People ask me about this Chris Angel and this Mind Freak show on cable television. You know what? He just strikes me as one of these walk-ins. You can hear the demons inside this guy when he's breathing hard, breathing heavy. You can hear the demons in him. Also, when he's on cue, he yells, "Go!" and he cues these beings to help him. I don't think he's using just pure illusion. Some of his tricks are, and some of them are very good. Some of them are just very demonic. There's no way he could do it without demonic help. And I think he's just kind of conditioning the way for a lot of these fallen angels that are coming, that are going to be very charming to look at, very nice beings with supernatural powers. We've seen X-Men 1, 2, and 3, and 4. How many numbers there are of that?